Today's Where in Wilmington finds us in the city's lower west side, specifically the Hedgeville and Browntown neighborhoods. This area represents the historic center of Wilmington's Polish community. And today we're going to learn about the crown jewel that serves as the heart and soul of this proud community. Of course, I'm talking about St. Hedwig Catholic Church. Wilmington's largest wave of Polish immigrants arrived in the latter part of the 19th century, around 1883. Most of these Poles came from the Polish province of Poznań, at the time a Prussian partition of Poland and as such part of the German Empire. Coupled with the strong Roman Catholic traditions of their motherland, Wilmington's early Polish immigrants were naturally attracted to the Sacred Heart Parish at 10th and Madison, a Catholic church that was run by German Benedictines. As the number of Poles continued to grow, the Benedictines recognized the need to build a new church that served the Polish community in their native tongue. In 1890, the Benedictines dedicated the first St. Hedwig Church, which was located directly across the street from the current church. The church was placed under the patronage of St. Hedwig, a 13th century Duchess of Poland. In her lifetime, St. Hedwig was known for her charity towards the poor. She also donated all of her fortune to the church. Her dedication to her faith is why she is often depicted carrying a church in her hand. St. Hedwig is also sometimes depicted carrying her shoes. According to legend, St. Hedwig was a very pious and modest person, even going barefoot in the winter. When urged by the bishop to wear shoes, she carried them in her hands, a symbol of her humility and modesty. The early years of the fledgling parish were fraught with challenges. The first pastor, Father Richard Aust, left the parish shortly after the new church was built. The second pastor, Father Leo Szczepański, died unexpectedly after serving only 4 years. For the next year, St. Hedwig would be without a pastor. St. Hedwig shook off its humble and tentative beginnings when the orphaned parish was rescued by the Reverend John S. Gulch, a charismatic figure with a heart of gold who would lead St. Hedwig for an impressive 65 years. He was bestowed with the title Monsignor in 1950. Father Gulch accomplished many impressive tasks over his long career, including the 1898 founding of the Polish Library, a settlement house where new immigrants could learn the knowledge and skills needed to thrive in their new country. Father Gulch also strengthened the parish school, replacing the Benedictines with the Felician Sisters. Thousands of Wilmingtonians would receive a quality education under the foundations established by Father Gulch. But Father Gulch's most significant and lasting achievement came with the construction of a new church to make room for the ever-swelling wave of Polish immigrants. Located at the southeast corner of Linden and Harrison Streets, the new church's cornerstone was laid on July 3, 1904, with the dedication of the completed structure taking place on April 2, 1905. St. Hedwig Church is a classic example of late Gothic Revival architecture. The exterior is of gray brick with details in limestone and decorative tan and gray brick corbelling. The church's distinctive twin towers dominate the skyline of Wilmington's west side as they reach to a towering height of 135 feet. St. Hedwig is the only church in the state of Delaware with twin towers. St. Hedwig is also unique in that in its southernmost tower, you'll find 4 massive bells, each named after a saint according to church custom. 3 of the 4 bells are original. The first St. Hedwig bell cracked on Easter Sunday of 1986, and a new one was recast by the original foundry, Baltimore's McShane Bell Foundry, which was itself founded in 1856, and the bell was cast using the exact same mold as the original. As distinctive as St. Hedwig's Church is, did you know that there are nearly exact replicas in other parts of the country? When considering architects to build the new church, Father Gulch turned to Braillemeyer and Sons of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Mr. Braillemeyer was once a classmate of Father Gulch's, and Father Gulch greatly admired a church the architect built in Brooklyn, New York. St. Stanislaus Kostka in Brooklyn's Greenpoint neighborhood has noticeable similarities to St. Hedwig. An even more exact copy can be found in another church dedicated to St. Stanislaus Kostka in Adams, Massachusetts. Upon entering St. Hedwig, the first thing most visitors notice is the beautiful vaulted ceiling, which is supported by massive columns that divide the nave of the church. The nave is 138 feet long and 60 feet wide, while at the transept that width expands to 70 feet. And though you can't see it from the floor, the framework and structural support of the vaulting is purely of wooden beams in the Old World style. At the back of the nave, just above the front entrance, you'll find the choir loft, which is home to the original 1927 pipe organ, a portion of which was funded with a donation from steel magnate Andrew Carnegie. In 1989, the original pipes were lowered so that the beautiful rose window, which features a representation of St. Hedwig in the center, could be viewed from inside the church. While the church was originally built to accommodate 1,000 people, subsequent renovations have reduced the occupancy number to 800. The original interior included wooden altars and an elaborate Gothic pulpit that soared over the communion rail and above the first few pews. The interior of St. Hedwig underwent its first restoration in 1939 in observance of the church's Golden Jubilee. The wooden altars were replaced with 3 new ones made in Italy from Carrara marble and shipped to America by boat during World War II. Adorned with spires, the high altar is 28 feet high and 15 feet wide and includes 2 niches, the one on the left with a statue of St. Hedwig, and the one on the right with a statue of St. Stanislaus Kostka, another popular Polish saint. 6 mosaics along the top of the high altar depict symbols of Christ's crucifixion. The altar to the right of the high altar honors the Sacred Heart of Jesus, the Catholic Church's devotion to the physical heart of Jesus Christ as a representation of his divine love for humanity. The altar to the left is known as the Blessed Virgin Mary altar, in tribute to Jesus' mother. Altars honoring the Blessed Virgin Mary are traditionally located on the left side of the church, and that's because women used to be required to sit on the left side of the church. Men and women sat separately in the old days. Now that tradition is no longer observed in mass, of course, but remnants of that tradition still exist during a traditional wedding, when the bride's family is asked to sit on the left side of the church and the groom's family sits on the right. Religious art is common to traditional Catholic churches, and St. Hedwig is no exception. The imagery you'll see throughout the church is designed to help illustrate in tangible form the teachings of Catholicism and to serve as a way to respect and honor the memory of the people and events the images depict. For instance, the ceiling above the transept features the 4 evangelists, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, the authors of the Gospels of the Bible's New Testament. Along the perimeter of the church are the Stations of the Cross. These plaster relief panels offer meditation on 14 events that took place during the Passion of Christ. These stations are original to the church, although they have been painted several times since their installation. Originally painted in vibrant colors, the statues were painted white with gold accents during the church's second major restoration, which began in 1959. During interior renovations in 1994, the statues were returned to their original, brightly colored splendor. The church's 1959 to 1960 restoration also resulted in the replacement of the church's wood and tile floor with terrazzo. The original dark-colored walnut pews were also removed and replaced with light-colored oak pews. A plaque in the church's vestibule lists donors to the new pew fund. Most of the church's stained glass windows are original, with one notable exception, the window on the left side of the church next to the Blessed Virgin Mary altar. This window, depicting the baptism of Christ, was replaced with a new one depicting the same theme in commemoration of the 70th priesthood anniversary of the beloved Monsignor Gulch. Shortly after the window was dedicated, Father Gulch died in 1962 at the age of 95. Fittingly, he was buried in the churchyard in front of the rectory. When Father Gulch first came to Wilmington, there were little more than 200 families of Polish descent living in the city. During his long years of outstanding service, the parish would grow to nearly 2,000 families. Much has changed in Browntown and Hedgeville over the past half-century. Urban renewal, the construction of I-95, and the subsequent white flight to the suburbs has resulted in the loss of much of Wilmington's resident Polish community. Gone are the Polish grocers and bakers, gone are the factory workers and the businesses they helped flourish, and gone are the great Polish cultural institutions that once called this corner of the city home. St. Hedwig's High School and Senior Center are also gone. So are the Felician Sisters. The convent and elementary school are still standing, but they are leased by the parish to other educational entities. Yet St. Hedwig Church continues to thrive. More than 600 families remain part of the St. Hedwig family. Every Sunday, the 11:30 a.m. Mass is still in the Polish language. Make no mistake, the spirit of this Polish community is still strong and vibrant, and is evidenced by the popularity of St. Hedwig's annual Polish festival along the riverfront. Thousands of people attend this week-long festival every year to get their fill of such Polish delicacies as pierogi, gołąbki, kielbasa, and kapusta, and they enjoy the polka-filled atmosphere. I hope you enjoyed this brief celebration of St. Hedwig Catholic Church, and I certainly hope to see you at next year's Polish Festival. The Polish expression 100 lat is spoken when you want to wish somebody a long life, literally 100 years. So 100 lat, St. Hedwig, and 100 lat to all of you. I'll see you next time for Where in Wilmington. I'm Rich Newman.